Since Trump got elected and ICE descended upon the United States, many brown, dark-skinned, and unambiguously Native American people have been harassed by federal agents who racially profiled them and assumed they were immigrants. In Seattle, Native actor Elaine Miles was detained after officers claimed her tribal ID looked fake. A Navajo man, Peter Yazzie, was detained in Peoria, Arizona by ICE officers who ignored his certificate of Indian blood, driver's license, and birth certificate. 4 Lakota men were detained in Minneapolis in early January and taken to the same site where their ancestors were imprisoned during the Dakota War of 1862. Many within the Native community have spoken out against this and made it clear that ICE and the Trump administration are carrying out tactics used on our ancestors during the colonization of the United States. Now, within the Native community, we also have outliers who support the current administration and the tactics they are using upon the Indigenous community. I've heard excuses similar to, "It's an honor to be racially profiled," which is shocking because I don't think they fully understand what that means. In response to the detainment of our relatives, they say, "Well, did they get deported?" As if that were enough of an excuse to allow the mistreatment our relatives have endured. One of those incidents involved a Native woman who described in detail what happened to her. Here's the clip.
I'm prepared to watch there. My name is Edith. I'm a widow mama of 5. Proud sister in Oyante, Haipa, Mountain Head District. I am the last of my bloodline, 39 years old. I was illegally detained, assaulted, threatened, and injured by 3 unmarked vehicles, no license plates. Had a safety plan. I had 2 phones. I got my personal phone, my work phone, location shared with everybody that I trust. Went to Dollar Tree and the other places and just kind of doing my little observer, right? And I parked because I was doing something on my phone, and they surrounded my vehicle, came to my window, and I was like, kind of like startled, like, what's going on here, And I said, "It's ICE." And I just told them I was enrolled in a federal recognized tribe, that I'm an American citizen, that I'm a mom of 5. And I shared my location with my advisor, my law professor, and they must have been watching my location. Thankfully, they didn't give me time to get my documentation. They grabbed me out of the vehicle, dragged me out, slammed me on the hood, then slammed me on the ground, on the concrete, head first. I had to have emergency eye surgery yesterday to reconstruct it because of the concussion. Caused my eye to rupture. I don't know if I'm going to be blind in this eye or not. When they slammed me down, I was in shock. And my attorney and my advisor showed up. They asked for their names, badges. I was incoherent, was in and out. They called for 911, or they called for the sheriff, and they didn't come. Documented all injuries. So, I had to have surgery yesterday. I won't know if I'm blind or not. They said 24 to 48 hours. This is what they're doing to Native Americans. They tore my left rotary cuff, fractured my shoulder, and they herniated 3 discs. I have to go get my MRI done here. 1 out of 3 surgeries. I advise anybody, if you don't have to travel alone, don't. If it wasn't for my attorney and advisor that showed up, I would have been kidnapped. My son wouldn't have had a mom. I don't feel safe here in my home, in my cute little suburb town. I don't trust my neighbors. I'm traumatized. Be safe out there, because they're just doing whatever they want. But they are going after anybody. Not only have I been going through a lot, I think this finally broke me. As the first Indigenous people of America, we call this Turtle Island. They almost kidnapped me. If it wasn't for my advisor, I don't know where I would be. So be safe. I don't care what your color is. Do not travel alone. Share your locations with your loved ones and be safe, because what they did to me is not right. Just imagine the ones that are in custody that are hurt. To my brown brothers and sisters, this country was built by immigrants, slavery, and genocide. The government is attacking us, and Congress isn't doing anything. It's time for them to uphold the Constitution or to resign. Be safe. I love you guys.
Now let me ask you this. How can you stand by this administration and still be okay with what they are doing? Many of you, all across social media, are telling other Indigenous people, just comply, stay at home, don't give them a reason to approach you, show them your documents. So let me ask you this. After watching this video of your relative explaining exactly what happened to her, when she did comply, when she wasn't out protesting, rather she was running errands, when she had nothing to hide, when she did everything that was expected of her, how can you still support what is happening? Let me ask you another question. What happens when men wearing masks jump out of a van and demand that your sister, your mother, or your daughter get inside a vehicle because they're going to be taken to an ICE facility? What happens then? And you never hear from them again. That is a terrifying thought. And that is the reality we are living in. Indigenous people are being picked up and we never hear from them again. In a report provided by the National Congress of the American Indians, it stated that 96% of perpetrators who harm Indigenous women are non-native. The National Criminal Justice Training Center highlights that 40% of sex trafficking victims are American Indians and Alaskan Native women. The missing and murdered Indigenous people epidemic plagues our community. I can't go 1 week without seeing 1 or 2 missing persons flyers shared across social media. In late January, a man was accused of impersonating ICE, illegally arresting women and sexually assaulting them at a motel. A contracted ICE employee pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a woman who was detained in a Louisiana detention center. It has been stated by leaders within the Trump administration that full immunity would be given to ICE agents for their actions toward anyone they label as impeding upon their federal duties.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity. He was doing his job.
But what we need to reassure a couple points to all ICE officers, you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony.
It's been made clear by legal experts that ICE agents do not have full immunity. But in our current political climate, those who align themselves with the Trump administration don't always listen to experts. So I'll ask again, how can you watch the video I just shared and still support ICE? It doesn't matter what political party you identify with. You will be racially profiled. You will be targeted. And it doesn't matter if you simply comply, if you smile, and let them know you support them. You will never be them. They will never pick you. To them, you are not Indigenous. You are not sovereign, and you don't belong here. Because colonial lines mean more to them than our ancestral ties to this land.